Awesome. Okay, so already so much going on. I love the style of this. Like it's such a throwback. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to check out another video from The Warning today, which is called 6 Feet Deep. I've been having so much fun with The Warning in the last couple months. I discovered them not too long ago and then covered one of their videos, then Que Más Quieres came out, had so much fun with that. So definitely check that one out if you haven't yet. I think that these girls are so smart with both the music, which is so consistently fun and just really, really good. And then the videos are just something else. Like I love the stories that they tell. So I'm really excited to check out what they've done with 6 Feet Deep. If you're new here to this channel, my name is Melinda Reaper. I am a filmmaker. I'm particularly a writer-director on narrative films. So that means that I've done a couple short films. I'm working on my first feature film. I'm also a writer. I'm working on a graphic novel and just generally working on a ton of little projects of my own, as well as here on this channel where I'm recording videos about two of my favorite things, basically, which is music and film. So I'm so happy that I can combine the two here and have been just having so much fun with this. Either way, that's enough rambling. Let's get into the video. Awesome. Okay, so already so much going on. I love the style of this. Like it's such a throwback to those late 90s, early 2000s kind of videos. So let's go back here. I love this opening shot with the moon that's superimposed here. And we have this beautiful building which is very sort of graphic and angular. We have this beautiful sort of grid here with this yellow light behind it, and there's this character waiting for them. For some reason, this 0628 number is sort of really bright. Someone please tell me in the comments what that is, because I'm really curious. I know that The Warning puts in these little Easter eggs, right? So it could be, is it June 28th? Was that the release date of this video? I don't remember exactly. I didn't pay attention to the exact release date, but it's possible. Like they're so smart about this stuff, or maybe it's a time stamp for something. Let me know. And then we have the three girls here, and it's really looking like they're being lit by car lights or something, but they're not headlights actually. I think because there's not enough spill on like the rest, and car lights usually have these beams are supposed to light as much as possible, right? Sometimes actually filmmakers will use headlights to light a dark scene. So they'll just pull up a couple of cars, especially if they're short on a couple lights. But here it looks a little bit more directional. Specifically, it's really reflecting on her blonde hair here. So I think that it's a more directional light, and it's definitely coming from here. Okay, so yeah, so that's just the opening, which is looking so great. And then already we get this, it feels a little 6 Feet Under. I feel like 6 Feet Under, the TV show, had the same font, but I might be wrong. And then of course we're seeing this epic classic camera, right? So cool. I don't know if they actually shot it on cameras like this. We are definitely in like the right aspect ratio for it, which is a 4:3. We're missing some of the video on these sides, and usually nowadays they'll do that just to evoke sort of that feeling of videos from back in that time. So it's It's really cool. It's also all looking a little bit more grainy, which, you know, all these things you can still achieve with the cameras that we use today. You would do that in post. So I don't know if they probably will have used modern cameras and just made it look like it was shot on a camera like that. And that's also got to do with requirements from TV stations, from, you know, all these places. And also, it's really hard to edit that footage from the older cameras now in the software that we have today. I can get into like the nitty-gritty details. Trust me though, it's much harder. Or at least you don't have as much information. That's the problem. So then we have this carpet that says dream, and it looks like they're putting some sort of ritual up. Seeing this beautiful TV from back in the day with all the stickers, which is really giving such a kids' room vibe, right? Or girls' room specifically, which is really cute. And then we had this sort of snarl when we saw this picture. I think maybe there's a monster lurking here, which maybe is that figure that we saw in the opening. And then we start playing. So great. I love seeing them, and loving these locations, by the way. It's just looking very time appropriate. Okay, let's continue watching. Oh, I forgot to mention that I really love that transition of it going upside down. You know, the camera movement of it going upside down. And we actually saw some sort of figure on that TV. So I don't know what's going on yet. Okay, just wanted to mention that. And the crack in the door, that was very cool too. Lovely lighting. So many cool effects. Wow. There's a lot going on. So we now see each of these girls in their rooms, and obviously they're being haunted by some sort of ghost or figure or whatever. And something that I noticed as well is that each of the girls have like their own color scheme. So here we have a blue color scheme. There's one that's a bit more reddish and reddish pinky, and one I think that's a bit more yellow, but I haven't placed it quite yet. But either way, really loving the set decoration. It's a great work, and very consistent in tone as well. So I love how much detail they've put in. I'm sure that these are all pictures from, you know, from them back in the day. That's really a great personal touch to everything. And then we have this knife. Wow, that's like cutting into the wall. It's cutting like shut up. Very creepy. And it's giving me like a distinct The Shining vibe. Very cool. And then this bit where she's being lifted with the guitar, which is so cool. And I wonder, I mean, they must have lifted it up and then lifted her with it. That's quite complex, right? So they definitely had some serious effects going on. And then also here, the bass guitar is being smashed. And I wonder if they had someone, also for this figure on the TV, they had someone wearing one of those green suits to edit that in post, because it does really look as if a person is smashing it, which is consistent with this figure thing that we're seeing. So again, really cool set. And I love the messiness of it all. Like, it's all becoming more and more messy. And this set also just looks really lived in. I don't know if they shot it at an actual home or if they built it on a set. It's either possible. And then we see the creature on the TV, or this ghost figure. So I wonder what the story is of this thing. Probably has got something to do with the dream on the carpet. So let's see.
Prodigal son, yeah, I know you felt this. Feeding your pride, put your ego where your mouth is. It's countless how many times you push dream over again, but it's way too late. Nothing left to hate. Such a bitter taste, what a shame. Yeah, what you gonna say when you're choking on my name? 'Cause it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. Got you figured out. Can't get any lower now. 'Cause it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. We're all seeing black now. Need your maker and bow down.
Wow. Before we head into like the final bit of the song, which I think is the final bit, because it feels like it's ramping up. Obviously, we're seeing this monster being lured onto the ritual bit on that carpet, right? So that's really, really cool. And I love all this stuff like swirling around in the room with the wind machine, and it's all intensifying. And wow, this is so cool and so creepy. The fire. I can't quite read what it says. I wish I could read it, but I can't. So I don't know what this says. Or does it say you can't? Or you ca Looks, it's almost clearer in the thumbnail. I don't know. I can't read it. Let me know what you think it says. But that's it's all really, really cool, and I love the editing as well. The pacing is great. And the shots are just really, really, really nice and clear, and just everything is always so intentional with them. Okay, so now this monster, it looks like it's taking shape with all this stuff flying towards it. So let's see.
But you pray to your God till you chewed up a spine. So what you gonna say when you're choking on my name? 'Cause it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. Got you figured out. Can't get any lower now. 'Cause it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground.
Wow.
I'll be seeing you underground.
Ooh. That was so cool. Okay, so definitely. Oh, I love this, by the way. The shots of them. And again, really intentional. I love that she is facing towards the right, she is facing forward, and then the other one is like facing towards the left. So that's just looking really beautiful, and just great to see the sisters like this up close, right? And then this thing here, it's being sucked into the ground. That is a very cool effect. I love that. And we've seen that in a number of horror films, right? Where, usually it's someone that's being dragged into a bed. And I absolutely think this is so cool that they went to the length of doing an effect like this, because this is quite complicated. And I'm thinking of how did they accomplish that? And I feel like I doubt that this is a set where they built like a double floor maybe, and they were able to pull this dream character, because that's what it is, right? They managed to catch the dream, like dream catchers, and with this ritual thing that they set out, and now it's being drowned 6 feet deep. What I think is that they built this somewhere else separately, where the carpet looks relatively new compared to the other stuff in the room, so maybe they put new carpeting in to make sure that they could replicate that on this separate location. And they built like a second sort of stage where they did have this double floor kind of situation where they had this pit that they could pull the dream thing in and then edited that into the video into this where they are here. So really loving that they're using these white angles on this side, but also on the other side, which is looking really cool. And then he moves in and then the thing just closes up, which is such a cool effect as well. But I'm skipping the most important part where all this stuff is coming up, right? So we have this super, super cool effect where all these clothes and all the random bits and bobs that were attached to this dream monster thing and it's flying out. And the way that I think that they achieved that, again, like I was thinking about that, is how I would do it, how I think I would do it, is I would, again, on like a separate stage, I would build a fake ceiling, right? With the same or a duplicate chandelier, because it does have, wait, let me show you. Okay, so we have this beautiful wide angle shot, and here you can see the chandelier. I would, as I said, like build a separate stage and then have this chandelier, and then from a distance, from some height, I would drop these clothes and all that stuff. And then when you switch or when you turn that footage around in post, it really can look as if it's being thrown up. And then you just, superimpose that onto all of this stuff. So really cool effect. And it's so effective, right? So honestly, really, really, really nice. Okay, let's continue watching. Sweet. Ooh. Very creepy. That was cool. Love that. Love this sort of Blade Runner-y score. What a great video again from The Warning. That was so much fun. I love that by the end it looked like they too were replaced by ghosts, or they were ghosts all along and they were just catching something. I don't know. Sweet. I'm just so stoked about these people, and I think that they're doing such an excellent job. I'm really looking forward to whatever it is that they're cooking up next. Definitely keep me posted. Like, I was grateful that a couple of my viewers mentioned that they had a new release, so really awesome. What a great group. I don't know, I keep saying it, but I feel like it's so encouraging to see young girls do stuff like this, right? It's just, I love it. I think they're supported by a really, really creative group of people as well. Just top-notch work. Just excellent. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought, and if there was anything that I missed or anything that, you hadn't really realized before that I talked about today. Give me a subscribe if you haven't yet. We do really fun stuff here. We talk about music and film. And I also have a Patreon where you can get early access to my videos, as well as some exclusive access to videos that I don't publish here on YouTube. Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
What you gonna say when you're choking on my